This is the Rainbow too. It's a small hostelry in West Hollywood which has been very kind to me over the years and has taken an awful lot of my money. But never mind, it's a bit of class, you know, a bit of class. Nice tits and that, you know. So off we go into the countdown. Isn't that exciting, boys and girls? Yes, it is.
You betcha, Lemmy lad, not off. At 10, mind your heads, it's UFO. Hell-bent for leather, not about their wheels and steel. At 8, Saxon. At 7, Three Deadly Sinners, Motorhead. Straight up there at 66, Whitesnake. Up above the streets and houses at 5, Rainbow. And at 4, a band who've had more than their fair share of bad luck.
It was actually really a nice car, but way too much power for those kind of roads anyway. The seatbelt actually tore my arm off, so the arm stayed in the car and I left via the sunroof. Somebody will say, well, what happened to your arm? I'll say, well, what do you mean?
When Def Leppard burst out of a Sheffield spoon factory in 1979, they were swiftly installed as the child prodigies of British heavy metal.
We just had ridiculous belief, youthful arrogance, I suppose.
I was really amazed by my parents making the decision to let me leave school early. Because I joined Def Leppard on my 15th birthday. On my 16th birthday, I was playing, you know, we were opening up for AC/DC at Hammersmith Odeon.
The sound, like the hair, became clean, lush. The Leps changed their spots and chased US success with super producer Mutt Langer.
Being a musician myself, and I could just really just help them actually get every part right.
We all kind of knew exactly how the band should sound without actually knowing how to go about it. And Mutt just came in, and he did become basically a sixth member of the band.
He wasn't. The sound that he had in his head was, you know, was coming out of the speakers.
It's not all just like turning out work. He kind of taught us to try and do that once you're finished.
The work ethic paid off as third album Pyromania sold shed loads in the States. But just as the blaster, Rick was the victim of a spot of road rage down a country lane, and a high-speed chase cost him dear.
And now I've only got one arm, and, you know, and that's kind of, you know, an integral part of playing drums.
What happens now? What the hell's he gonna do? You know, like somebody tearing my throat out. Oh, I'll be able to carry on. I don't think so.
I'm thinking, well, what, you know, what else could I do? And I'm thinking, well, I can't do anything else. So I'm from Drumfield.
You don't tell him that he can't be in the group anymore. You'll have to give him the opportunity to try. That he could actually play with one arm. Who the hell were we to tell him he couldn't, you know?
I'd never looked through the book of one-armed drummers, and though it was like, you know, how am I going to do this? How am I going to make this work?
He was probably the best musician in the group before the accident, and I firmly believe he's a better drummer now than he was then.
Right hand timekeeping, left foot playing snare drum, toms, or whatever sounds I need on the floor. So it works, you know, so.
Waiting for Rick paid off. 3 years after the accident, the Hysteria album shifted more than 10 million copies worldwide, spawned 6 hit singles, and got everyone a bit sticky.
The idea was just to try and write a song that would be really cool for people to strip to. We didn't want it to be double entendre the way that Les Dawson would do it.
you know, that sort of thing.
But the problems weren't over. Alcoholic guitarist Steve Clark died after one bender too many in 1991. He was 30 years old.
It's heartbreaking to see a friend just wither away into that sort of oblivion, if you like.
Just couldn't, you know.
Four of us just gravitated even tighter. So we finished the album as a four-piece, and then we started looking around for somebody with a British passport, similar age, liked soccer, and would get the humour of Monty Python.
Join in because our voices are probably a little bit...
With new guitarist Vivian Campbell on board, Leppard are still flying. 3 gigs in one day on the UK's greatest ever rock exports. And even if the sound's changed,
Pub!
Yes, and the same to you, Rocky.